Welcome to Pacific Utility Installations training on how to read prints with Manny and Esteban.
Hey, Manny, we're at a brand new job site out here. Beautiful job in Winchester, California. What's the first thing you do with your prints when you show up to a job site?
First thing you want to do is open up the prints and you go straight to the first page. Your first page is right here, right hand corner.
And what information, Manny, do you have in this front page and specific in this corner?
I want to make sure I'm on the right job site, that I have the right plans. So here is going to state, the address of the job, the cross streets, location,
And also the
and
TD?
the TD number here, the line extension.
What is a TD number?
That is a record number, how it is on identify where the system has been placed. So when they go to the system, like the computer later on, and they look for this code, they will always, the whole folder for the print is gonna come up. So, and then of course we need to make sure that it is a final
design
to be able to
approved
work.
for construction.
And then I see there is a lot of more information right here in this front page. What else you put in consideration right here?
So here we have more of information, detail on the type of structure we're gonna set here on this job.
You can also find the project up here in the top corner. Gives us more detail on where it's at in the vicinity of the maps.
It's multiple information just to get it right now. Because if you see right here, it's gonna give us the details also based on the pipe amounts, how it is on requirements, so based on the amounts of pipe. So if there is only one pipe, two pipes, 4, 6 or more, so they give us details how they want it and how we're supposed to be placed on it.
Perfect.
Any something else that you want to mention in the front page?
Here we have a pad here, a capacitor pad. It shows you a little bit more of details, clearances, the grounding, the specific grounding that they need on it.
I see a small pad right here too.
There is another small pad there.
And it's a different type of grounding also for that one.
Different type of grounding as well, yeah.
So in the second page, you have a different blue line right here and a little pointing, and I see more structures right here. Why you looking in this page? Is this page important?
This page is important because it shows you all the primary runs in a single line.
So this is called a single line. So it's got like a one line. They show you how the system is gonna go. And those little points are like a futures or what? Because I see there is a little black point right there. What that tells you or what that means for us.
So these are the ins and the outs, and
Yes.
this is telling me this is a million cable of jacketed concentric neutral. So that's a type of
A cable.
a primary cable, and this is giving me my ins and my outs. Where's this all coming from?
In this case, it's gonna come from this. This is gonna be our point of connection of the
This is
riser.
showing me existing
This is existing.
And
It's gonna be a riser right here.
12 kV system, so it's coming through here a 12
Yes.
kV system. It's going to come from here and go into the
And
track.
this one is gonna come to this box. This is gonna be a 714 by 8 box, so you can see the details right here on it. And then it's gonna go through this detail. I'm not gonna go through right now because it's kind of like it's a couple riser that is needed because of racking condition. If you see right here, those two boxes don't give you like breakdowns like this, and it's because this one is gonna be just going through pretty much. It's not gonna be any transformer. It's not gonna be any disconnections right here. So you see that is the power is just going through right here. It's like a splicing places. This one now, you see this is 3 different one, and they have a different, like we call it right here, legs right here, or different in and out position. It's now they have box. That's why they use these different box. Now they have a transformer on top of this box. And now they can turn it off. They can transfer from one circuit to another, and that way they can probably keep running power. So that's why they have a different legs. Sometimes they don't give you the other one because those are future, or they're gonna be going to a secondary system, or the in-track. They're still not on our system to tell us what it is. So we tend to go back to the other prints, like in-track prints, and they will tell us maybe if they're gonna use how many of those they're gonna be using, and the other one can be a spare for a future system.
And now we're going to go on to the next page.
Page 2 of 3.
So now I see a lot of more notes right here, and I see lines, numbers, sizes. So what you use right here? It is all that information needed for you, or just information for somebody else? On this one, what do we use?
Yeah, this is all this information is for me, and for me to see how many boxes I'll be putting in place. Every box has its own call out, and it'll show you the type of box, the measurements on the box.
Nice.
You know what I mean?
Yes. And I see a number right here. This is the reference for how they can look of the box, right? This is the number of the box, upsell. Because every one I see, they have a different number.
Yeah, every single box has its own call out number for every different box that it is. Like this one. This one here is the 714 by 11 tub modular type 1 box.
So that's the one they call it like a PME. They put a transformer on top, right?
Yes, that is correct.
It's different than this one right here.
This one's different. This is the one I mentioned. It's different from this one here on call out number 5. It's a 6 by 12 by 7. This one's a manhole tub style. It's way different from the one that I just mentioned here.
Okay.
It's a whole different
Yes, and
box.
if we're going back to what the previous that I was speaking about, this is the one where they put the transformer on top of the box, where they can do the disconnections or turn it off the power. So this one now has that ability to get the power. This one, the power transfers only splicing inside, but it's not disconnection point. So if they need to disconnect the power, or they have to come right here, or they need to go maybe to the riser. Sometimes in the riser they have like a switch disconnection, and this one is just a splicing box pretty much. Now I see different notes right here, and like this one, what it means for you, Manny?
This one, it's telling me from one structure to the other. It's showing you how many conduits are going from one structure to another.
Okay.
Like here, it's telling me that on call out number 5, it shows 6 5-inch conduits, 655 feet from one box to another.
So that give
From
you
the
the
manhole to the
distance. They
back.
give you the distance, and they give you from which back to which one they're going.
to the other
So
box,
they
yeah.
give you where to
From
where.
one box to the next.
And that way you know which one it is, because I see this call out and I see the other one, I have a different information. So that's why they have two different notes.
Yeah, that's why it's 2 different notes. If you see here, it shows call out number 5 for the 6 5s that I previously mentioned. Now you go to the call out on the left hand side, it'll show 6 5s, 249 feet from pad to the cap.
So that's
So
gonna be a
cap-
future.
Yeah, cap means future conduits that are being stubbed out that are going to be used later on in the future.
Okay. So we have a couple more call outs right here. For 3 different one, and I looked in kind of the same. What you can tell me about those one, Manny? What information you have right there? What they for?
So here we have 3 different poles that I'm looking at.
Okay.
And then if you start from here to the right, whatever you want to do, but call out number 4, I'll follow the straight solid black line, and it leads you up to this pole right here. And they all look the same, right? But then if we read all these numbers here, and then you go back down to this call out here that kind of looks like this one, right? It kind of looks the same, but we're looking at all the numbers. So all these numbers here got to match to all these numbers you have down below, right? So that these numbers and these numbers have to match. So this would be for this pole here. And then when I go up to the next pole, that kind of looks the same. Same thing, I'm gonna go back to, there's a different call out. Go trace the solid black line all the way up to the pole. And then I'll read the numbers, and I'll make sure these numbers match with the riser detail that they're giving me here.
Okay.
Correct?
So the same thing on all three.
So you do the same thing pretty much on all 3 of them.
Okay.
You know?
And I see a lot of writing right here on all 3. They have details for you, those details for somebody else, or what they tell you right there.
Yeah, these details here with all these call outs, all these words that you see here, for me, it's showing me the type of pole that they're going to be installing, which is a 55-foot pole.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So,
and I see also they tell you what size riser they're gonna put it right here.
the 5-inch riser that I'm installing,
Right there. Okay.
which the riser would indicate the conduits
Okay.
that we're rising up to.
And
the
I
pole.
see, if I see a little bit, they already tell you which one they're gonna use as a cap, and which one they're gonna riser up with the cables.
Yes, and that information's right here.
Okay.
One of it says 1 5-inch cap. This is
Okay.
the one they're using. The other one's the one with the cable.
Okay. So they already got all the information, and I see that they're gonna. Also, this is the cable side and all that kind of stuff too. So they give all the information, even though if we don't install, and that way we know what cable they're gonna put it on, and that way we can just get the right pipe and everything on the place.
Okay.
Okay, so
Yes.
that's good information right there.
And also, for all these risers, you have north, south, east, and west.
So that's the position so they give you the position how you're
They
gonna
give you
place
the position of the way you're gonna rise up the conduits.
Okay.
For the specific pole you're installing.
Okay.
And you gotta always remember, you gotta read the call out. Because they might look the same, but you know,
Yeah, each one. Yes, and
each one's gonna be different.
Yes, and I'm gonna just kind of point this one right here because I was kind of checking all the different notes right here, and I see this note right here and this one. They say 4A. So what does that mean?
So the 4-aught is a neutral 4-aught bare copper that they use.
Okay.
So it's telling us that right here at the riser pole, it doesn't typically, you'll see a little dot right here, right behind this section here where the conduits are, right behind it, you'll see a little dot. But in this situation here, they did not put the dot, but they, in the call outs, that's why you got to read all the call outs, all these words, because here it says riser neutral.
The size of the cable.
The size of the cable and what we're installing, which is a 4-aught copper.
Okay. And the small numbers right here, like the 3 inches to 1 inch, that's how they're gonna go up on the pole. So that's kind of like a little details also for the cable crew that is gonna come to install the cable, how they're gonna do the going up into the pole. So now I see different notes right here, many and different sizes of pipe. What those means? Because I see the same dark line right here, but now I see a little squares and a little notes right there. What those are for?
These are more call outs for like here. This is a handhole that we're installing. It's a 17 by 30 by 18 RPM. Again, the solid black line will just follow it straight and it'll indicate that it's a handhold for this one here.
So
And then, as you can see, the solid trench, solid black line, or that's dotted, my bad. It keeps going down, and you have more call outs.
So that's indicating everything that you placing on, and that way you know there is multiple stuff that you put it on in the same trench.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, because I see another note right here with a memo, so that means there is something else. That is true?
Yes, that means for this page it's about to end, so it's technically reminding you like, hey, like, you know, this page is about to end, but the trench still keeps going south, and don't forget that we have 6.5s that are in this package. These other callouts up here too.
Okay, yeah,
And-
that's a good point, because actually I see that in all of these notes right here, I didn't see those the call out and any other call out for those pipes right here. So they told you right at the end of the page, you may be already trained right here, that you need to put attention on this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Page 3 out of 3.
The page where what side of the page is matching the other side? This one.
So it would be here, the top one. Remember what we said? We flipped the page from 2 out of 3. Now we're at 3 out of 3.
Okay.
So you can always see here, it says sheet 2 to match the station number 37 plus 50. And that's why we're in.
Okay, so I
That's
see
what-
now that you mentioned that one, I see another different 2700. So this one is gonna match because I see that one right there.
Yes.
That's correct?
Yeah,
Okay.
that is correct.
Okay. So what more information that you can give me right here that is important about this other page right here? I see multiple notes right here, multiple calls. So what is important that you need to put attention on this one right here that was not in the other one?
You got to pay attention to more boxes that are here.
Okay.
There's back-to-back information here. There's information that's really tight that maybe on the other page it was more spread out. You probably just had one box. Like we had this box up at the other page. It's a 7x14, but here you have another. The
Different.
capacitor pad. It's a different size pad, and then you have another pad that's again, it's a smaller pad.
Also, what I am understanding you saying is that now we have to put attention on, like you say before, follow the lines, which one is which one. That way we
Yes.
know that we're working with the correct one.
That is correct. You got to pay a little bit more attention to this one because,
Okay.
like I said, it's more
The information is a
more
little
information. It's more tight.
Okay. Just to give a little information, Bob, about the capacitor that we were speaking about before. Now they give you a little more details on what side is gonna be the pad, what side pipe we're gonna use. So now they're giving us a little more information on what we're gonna use. So the details are right here. This one is the same. This the detail for the pipe, and this is the details the same for the structure we're gonna place right here. So we have to just kind of just go and look for that information where it is. This information belongs to this one right here. That is the pipe that we're gonna place, what they're gonna use. If you remember when we was checking the single line, we just see the blue line saying what kind of cable. Now they are telling us what kind of pipe they need to be able to feed that cable. Like in this one, you have a different measurement right there. So we need to put attention on each one and know which one going to what direction. So those are little details, like many say, they are a little more crowd, so we need to put more attention on it. And then just kind of like keep going with the call out for the hang hose, the runs, and the memo. Now we see the notes, the other side was telling us about the six pipes. Now they put it on the other side, and that way we know that those pipes are gonna be together. Same thing right here. You're gonna see the note again, and you're gonna see it again on this area right here. So it kind of getting pieces together. So we need to see attention on either side.
Okay, so now we're moving on to explaining on here for this call out here. It's a future irrigation pedestal. The pedestal is being fed from a handhole. Remember, you got to look at all these call outs. The solid line goes to the pedestal. This is all good information that they give us on why
Yeah, and I see from the
And
hand
then-
hose, this is gonna be
a street light.
So
Now we got a handhole feeding the street light. Again, it's a little crowded, but you gotta find all the information. You gotta look for it yourself, pretty much.
kind of this. It's kind of just following the same information. We continue with the same package pretty much. We still have the 5-inch pipe. We have the 3-inch pipe that is feeding different street lights and different other. So as you see, they just kind of that 3 inches keep going on and off and on and off. So we have to keep attention where ends, where change. So that's why we have to follow, like Manny say, all those details on it, to make sure what I see right here, that is trench that is going behind and the trench that is going inside, going through the back. So we need to put attention on, because after this point, specific this point, the 3-inch pipe it become a secondary system. So it's don't go through the box. All the secondary system it doesn't go through the primary box. So now it's going astray, go to the hang hook, continues in the same package, but soon as we enter to the box, that secondary package is going outside and then going back to the trench. So this a little stuff that we need to put attention on when we do entrenching, because we don't want to miss, or we don't want to misplace pipes in the wrong location on the wrong structure, because that can be a danger, at the same time can be a cost affecting situation. I just want to mention, and you can just give me a little more information about, I see the trench, or it kind of turns now, and I see a little call outs right here, numbers. What that means to you, what's needed for, what they for, specific.
So these are called angle points. There's some type of like sweep that turns, and they're used to turn. So we use that to turn
And get into the box in the
and
right
get
position.
into all the boxes in the right position, just the way they call it out here on the plans.
So I
They're
see,
called angle points.
and I see you. They give you. This is the one you call a station number,
Station number, yeah.
and the second one is.
It's the angle point.
Oh,
It's the
that's
type of
it's
degree.
The type of the angle point.
Yeah.
The degree of the angle. So that's
22 degree. 22 and a half degree.
Okay.
It's an angle.
So you need to know which one. That's what. So this is information that you have to follow, because if you put different one, maybe it's not gonna work, or it's gonna be against what they. What is
Against,
exactly?
Yeah, Edison rules, you know?
Okay. Bob, you asked a question. If they told us how to install a bolt right here, how we install the box, they don't tell us how. They just told us the information where the box is gonna be, what side is the box, and how far it's gonna be from curve face, or when it's a wall. Sometimes they can just go from the center of the street, from the curve face. They can go from the easement going back. So they give us just the details how they want the box, but they don't tell us how to install it. That information usually comes when we have the measurements of the box. You know, every the company that provide the boxes, they give us what we call a cut sheet that has all the details on the information, how high is the back, how width, all the details on it. So and that way we know if the distance that they give us is gonna work on the location. So we have to just dig the hole based on the cut sheet that tell us how tall, how wide, how long is that box.
And then your next determination from there is using the stakes to tell you what your elevation is and everything?
Yes, so the staking is give us elevation, what is the final product, actually the final based on what we are. Maybe it's gonna be curve face. Sometimes we're gonna be on the street, so it's gonna be what they call a fitness surface. So we need to know exactly how we're gonna be that box. How deep, how high, all that kind of information is based on where it's gonna be placed, and the staking is gonna give that information to us.
So what I hear from that, then you're using basic 3 different principles for setting a structure. You use the prints,
Yes.
your piping, you're using the cut sheet from the actual structure you're setting, and then you're looking at the stakes for the elevation and
Correct.
those points.
Correct.
So from there you can get a fairly precise setting of that structure.
Yes, and we have just to mention, we have with Edison, we have a really limit fluctuation that we can just be different. It depends on the structure. It can be 1 inch, give or take, like say max or less. So if we are in a structure like, for example, this one right here, that is 12 foot deep. So we need to make sure that we dig in that trench, that hole, as close as possible for the depth that we need. Because if we leave that box a little higher, we're gonna have a major problem. And even though if we put it too deep, still we may have a problem, because now we have to do adjustment that is not needed, or they don't want it to do it because it is the specific. So this one right here, there is a structure that it's gonna have a transformer pad on top. So that has to be level. When I tell level, it's 100% level. We have, for the distance of the box, that is 15 feet tall outside, 15 foot long outside, you have a 1/4 inch max decline that you can be missed. 1/4 inch for 15 feet. So that means that has to be perfect. Because when you put 15 feet on a level, 1/4 inch pretty much doesn't exist.
Yeah.
So it has to be 100% level.
And that all starts with your bottom then with the rock, right?
That's gonna be the
starts
rock.
Everything out, so the top's
That's gonna be,
level.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why our staking, when specific like Manny job that is working right now, is doing it with staking. So curving gutter can be changed a little bit. So we need to make sure those staking, we don't just check one stake or two. We look into many of them, kind of just, we do a streamline to make sure is those curve match. If they don't match, we need to go back to the engineering department that give us why it is that changes. So on that way we know that we need to be as close as possible, because like I say, we have just 1 inch to play.
So this is it. This is the way you read Edison plans. You have any more questions, always reach out to your general foreman, and he'll be more than happy to come out and explain to you and give you a rundown of anything, any questions that you have or need.
Yes, thank you, Manny. Thank you, Bob. For sure, like Manny say, if you have any question when you are going to start a job, just feel free to call one of us. We will be happy to help you. This is the basic information. Always check standards also. Edison has the books of the standards, and every municipality, they have the standards. So it may be not all the information that you need on this print, but it's the base what we need to do to place an infrastructure. But always be willing to learn more. So if you feel like it is a question, don't hesitate to ask. Questions always solve problems. When we lack question, we lack on production.
Thank you, gentlemen. Appreciate it.